you could be with us. As you know, my wife, LaDon, and I are the co-founders of the Success and Money Foundation.org. We're a nonprofit educational foundation. We teach kids, teens, young adults, and adults about success and money. Well, because you didn't learn it in school. We have a purpose and mission. Our purpose is very simple. We provide free success and money classes for anyone, anywhere. Now, we need your help in being able to get this information out because we have a wonderful platform, but you're the one that's going to take it to the next level. We have 3 missions. Mission number 1 is to provide financial rewards for students when they attend class and share the wealth with others. Now, we're going to ask you to put that into an investment account because that is very important that you do that. That is one thing that every adult that I've ever talked with said was the one thing that you wish that you would have done that you didn't do in your finances. And every one of them come back and say that they wish they would have started investing at an earlier age. Okay, that's the one big thing that a lot of people are saying that they wish they would have done. Mission number 2 is we provide a platform and donations to schools, churches, charities, groups, and teams as they go through classes to learn about finances and about success. And number 3 is we help those in need. For every hour you're in class, the foundation is going to donate either a pair of eyeglasses, or we're going to feed someone, or provide some clean water for people. So that's really the key of what we do. So the missions are very simple. Our goal is to help you have a better life. And really what our real goal is to help you have your children, your kids, your nieces, your nephews have a better life, because the simplicity of success and money is not being taught. And the one thing that every person that in the world that they or someone in their family is going to do is they're all going to manage money. Every one of you, when you're walking down the street, you're seeing all these people. You go to the mall, anytime that you're seeing people, there's one thing that every one of us have. Well, there's a lot of things we have in common, but the one big one is that every one of these people are going to make, manage, and spend money their whole life. Okay, that's the big common denominator. Everyone's going to make, manage, and spend money. Now, some people are going to do an awful lot. Some are going to do a small amount. But the one thing we also have in common is that besides your parents, who you probably didn't listen to, you haven't learned about the simplicity of success or money principles. And that's why the foundation was created. As a nonprofit educational foundation, we're an educational charity. And our charity and our mission is very simple, is to improve people's lives. And the way to do that is with education, inspiration, and pulling the trigger and make things happen. Now, we got new people from around the world. We're so thrilled to have you here, but I want to talk a little bit about going into next year. And I really want to talk about what's happening in the marketplaces and stuff like that, so that you can get more comfortable with that. We're going to talk about, is it good or bad if the stock market or real estate or the value of your business goes down? Well, that's going to be a fun question we're going to ask you. But really, the first thing we want to get into is we want to review and make sure that you get where you're going for 2023, or any time that you're starting to get to that next level. Now, there's really 5 steps to become financially independent. And again, remember, every person is going to make, manage, and spend money. Just because you make a lot of money doesn't mean that you're going to be financially well off. In fact, it's usually the opposite of that. Some of the greatest athletes, they figure that they will be completely broke in 4 years after they retire. Mike Tyson, the famous boxer, went through $400 million and declared bankruptcy. Why? Because he didn't have the simplicity of money. He was out buying all kinds of stuff, and then when his career stopped, everything imploded on him because he had a lot of financing on stuff. That's one of the reasons. Now, there's really 5 steps to financial freedom. Step number 1 is you need to learn how to make more money. Every one of you is going to make, manage, and spend money in your lifetime. In America, most people go between 1 and 10 million US dollars in their lifetime. If you work at McDonald's, you're probably going to go through $1 to $2 million in your lifetime. That's the good news. You're going to have money literally come through your life. The bad news is that you need to live. You need to have expenses. You need utilities. You need a place to stay. Most of you like to eat. And so you're going to have all kinds of expenses. So the way that you make more money is threefold. Number 1, you need to learn how to be able to solve problems. You need to find problems. A lot of people run away from problems. We run towards problems. The people who make the most money solve the biggest problems. I have a next door neighbor who is a surgeon. He's done 2 back surgeries on me. And he makes more money than a regular doctor, who makes more money than a nurse, who makes more money than the receptionist. Why? Because he solves the biggest problems. As a result, he makes the most money. Business people who solve the biggest problems make the most money. That's a key right there. You've got to solve bigger problems. Now, a lot of people say, well, school teachers should make more money around the world. And I agree, they should. But the problem is that the people where there's a lot of people and they're not solving a big, massive problem for a lot of people are not going to be able to get wealthy or be able to make more money. You look at the people that have done extremely well. Look at Bill Gates. He created a company that provided software for all these computers, and he was able to do that and make a massive difference. And we're going to study successful people, and we're going to go through some of those in just a minute. So step number one is you need to make more money. Now, you do that by solving bigger problems. You add more value. You need to figure out how to add more value than the next person around you, because it is a competition and people vote with their wallet. If you have a good product, they're going to buy your product over somebody else's. Why? Because it is more valuable, not because just the price, but because of value. So, and the third piece is that we need to study successful people. We need to study successful people. Now, I had the privilege of having a father that is 4 days older than Warren Buffett. And my dad was an incredible man. My mom and dad taught us a lot of great things. We were compassionate capitalists. My mom was very compassionate. My dad was a capitalist. Boom, we became compassionate capitalists. And he was 4 days older than Warren Buffett. So I had the privilege of having a dad that had a lot of similarities to Warren Buffett. Now, Warren Buffett added a whole bunch of zeros and a whole bunch of commas, but the simplicity of what they taught is very similar. And so that's what we're going to be teaching you. Now, that's the first thing, is you've got to figure out how to make more money. Number two is you need to learn how to separate it and sort it and create systems to be able to make your money grow. This is crucial. Now, most of you are going to do a side hustle. Most of you are going to start an extra small business. Most of you are going to have money that's going to come into your world. And if you don't have a system, someone else has a system for you. Meaning, if you don't have a system and you're not determining where you want your money to go and how you want it to grow and things like that, then somebody else has a plan for you, which is not in your best interest. You need to figure out how to be able to systematize and sort and to make your money grow. Because if you can't manage a small amount of money in your own household, how are you going to manage a big amount? How are you going to manage hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in real estate or businesses or investments? So it's the same strategies. We just add commas and zeros. Step number three is you've got to give to church and charity. You need to find some organizations that you love that you can take a small amount of money and give that money to others in need. Now, you know that we just had Christmas. We did our Make a Difference program again. We had hundreds and hundreds of you request money for the ability to go out and make a difference in someone's life. And so we're so excited about that, to see that. And this is one of the books right here. We're up to, I think, 8 or 9 books now. But these are the success stories of you that have taken a little bit of your money or a little bit of our money and gone out and made a difference on an individual's life. Okay. And so we've done this kind of on a small basis, on a one-on-one basis. Instead of just trickling money down, we just go right to the bottom of the people who really need it. So that's something that we do on the Make a Difference program. And we've done that. We'll do that occasionally throughout the year. But congratulations, because we had an awful lot of you take advantage of that and put your stories in. Now, one of the things we need to have you do is share the wealth. What is the wealth? The wealth is the education. Wealth is the knowledge. Wealth is the inspiration. Wealth is execution and actually doing it. If you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you give him a fishing pole or sell him a fishing pole and teach him how to fish, you can feed him for a lifetime. But if you can teach him how to teach others, then you can change a whole generation. And that's what we're about, is improving whole generations of lives. So that's number 3. Number 4 is the most important thing, that if I only had one chance to talk to you and I got 10 minutes to talk to you and you're never going to see me again, the thing that we're going to ask you to do is step number 4, which is automatically invest. Now, many of you have small businesses and you're pouring your money back into your business. That's great, but you are running your business. The business is running you. And there's some great classes that I want to expose you to in the next segment about small businesses. The E myth, the entrepreneurial myth, is by Michael Gerber. He actually tutored me when I was in my late 20s. And because we were running a very big business, and I became the president of the company at a very young age. And so we're going to teach you about how to do that and how to automatically invest. And to automatically invest, because eventually you've got to get your money working for you. Now, we do not trade. We're not traders. We do not trade stock. We are long-term investors that invest in businesses, either with your small business, or we buy stock in other bigger businesses. And more specifically, the two that I'm going to recommend that you do is the 500 biggest companies in America, as well as Berkshire Hathaway. Those are the ones. Berkshire Hathaway, we bought a bunch of that many years ago. And that's one of the things that has funded this foundation. My wife and I put $3 million US into the foundation. And that came from real estate that we bought many years ago, 25 years ago, that has doubled in value. All the loans got paid off. And we took some of that real estate and we donated that to the foundation. As the foundation makes money, we give that money away for people as one of the missions that we do. But automatically invest is really, really crucial. Now, number 5 is to save and spend. So your goal is to figure out how to make more money. Number 2 is to systematize it, to automatically get things going on and working for you, because you're going to manage a lot of money. And so we want to set up systems. So as of all the properties we owned and stuff like that, we had systems set up that things automatically happen. You need to give some of it away, and then you need to automatically invest and then save and spend. Now, the most important thing is, and if I only had 5 minutes, and I'll never see you again, the one thing that I'm going to teach you to do is number 4, which is automatically invest. Now, the wealth formula is very simple. You need to be able to take money on a weekly, monthly basis times time. You need to put it away. You need to separate it into its own account, its own investment account. You don't commingle it with your money over here. It's a whole separate account right here. This is your long-term investing. And when you put money down there, you leave it there and you let it grow through good times and bad times. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. If it's good or bad, if the stock market goes down in value. Well, the correct answer is it depends on when you're selling. If you are selling tomorrow or the next day, then it's probably not good. If you're selling in 5 years from now, it's great, because we want to be able to buy more stock at a lower price. But we need to do that over time. This is not get rich quick. We're building a strong, strong foundation. We're planting a whole orchard of money trees. And money trees, just like apple trees or pear trees, take years to be able to grow. But when they do, they put out their roots, they're very strong, and they provide fruit for you and your family for years to come, even after you've passed on and you pass this to the next generation. That's what we're creating. We're creating a strong foundation. We're creating long-term investments that go up in value. We're creating small businesses. That's the wealth formula. Now, you need to invest in things that make money, that go up in value. Now, there's 3 pieces to that. Number 1 is that you can invest in things like gold that does not produce any gold. It just has a value to it. And that is determined by what somebody's willing to pay for it. Okay? It does not produce any income. Warren Buffett is famous for buying and investing in companies that produce and make money. That's his whole thing right there. He wants to invest in things that make money. If it doesn't make money, he's not really interested in it. He wants to know if it makes money. And then he wants to build a moat around it, and he wants to have an idea of what it's going to be worth in 10 years from now. And those are the things that he invests in. He doesn't really care. He says, if the stock market gets closed for 10 years, but you still have an investment in this company, would you be happy with it? And so that's the one piece that he wants to invest in companies and organizations that make money. Real estate rentals, does it make money? Yes, it does. Plus it goes up in value. These are the kind of things that we're looking for. There's only 3 ways to be able to invest. Number 1 is to be able to invest in income producing assets. Number 2 is to invest in things that go up in value or a hedge against inflation. But they don't produce any income. Gold does not produce income. Okay, it's valuable, but it doesn't produce more gold. Silver doesn't produce more silver. Crypto does not produce more crypto. Now, some of them, like Ethereum, might make money on gas fees, but you got to look at it. That's the way. And then the third one is loans. You can invest in bonds or loans that, when you're putting money into the bank, you're loaning money to the bank, and the bank takes that money and reloans it out to someone else. So that's really the steps that we have right there. There's 5 steps. Now, one of the things that I want to talk to you about is we're coming to the year end. Now, many of you have done really, really well this last year. Some of you have investments like I do that have gone down in value. Now, the great thing is that I'm not selling those. I still have the same number of shares. Now, I'm going to talk about that, of what's going on to the marketplace, so that you get a better idea of that, because a lot of people are kind of freaking out because the value of their portfolio has gone down. So the real question is it good or bad if the stock market goes down? And I'm just going to give you the quick answer to that. Is it depends on when you're selling. If you're selling tomorrow, if you're selling next week, then that can be a bad thing. If you're selling in a year from now, you want it to go down. You want it to go down because we want to be able to buy more of it at a lower price. We call that dollar cost averaging. The key is to be in this for the long term and be able to start and be able to plant those strong money trees. Now, one of the things I want to do, because we're at the end of the year and I want you to start thinking about this, is that I want you to go and get out a piece of paper. This is going to be part of your assignment, and we're going to send out a little money to you while you do this. I want everybody to get out a piece of paper, and then I want you to put it up to the screen and show me that you've got this piece of paper. Show me your paper. Okay, good. All right. I see him out there. Nice. Perfect. Now, I want all of you to draw the 5 steps. I want all of you to literally draw the 5 steps on your piece of paper. And then we're going to come back in our next segment, and we're going to start doing some great things with that. So we're going to start planning of where we're going next year with it. And so we're going to say goodbye to our friends from around the world. All of you should be pulling out a piece of paper and doing these 5 steps plus the wealth formula. And then when we come back in our next segment, we're going to talk about next year. And you can do this anytime. You don't have to do it year end. You can do it at any time. But your goal is to be able to start planning how you're going to be able to do that. All right. So we're going to say goodbye to friends around the world. All of you that are on with us live on Zoom, stay right where you're at. We're going to be right back.